It is Chris. It is Wednesday, June 19th, hump day, am I right? Also 8 days before the debate. So I spend a lot of time looking at polls, and I also spend a lot of time looking at election models like The Economist and 538 and some of these other sites have. I'm always interested in more data rather than less data. Even if that data doesn't necessarily agree with what I think might be happening, I think it's always useful to have. One thing that I haven't looked as much at, but I'm sort of fascinated by, are the betting markets when it comes to the 2024 presidential campaign. Now, you cannot bet on politics legally in this country, but you can use sites that are out of this country to bet on politics, and there are these prediction markets that you can gamble on. So I went and looked it up. Real Clear Politics takes all of these markets and sort of combines them for an average. And right now, today, the average is 52.5% chance Donald Trump wins, 33.3% chance Joe Biden wins. Interestingly, this is sort of fascinating, but sort of a side point. There is a 3.6% chance Barack Obama wins, a 3.5% chance Gavin Newsom wins, a 2.3% chance Robert F. Kennedy wins, and a 0.4% chance that Ron DeSantis wins the presidency. Okay, but to go back to the big sort of top line numbers, 52.5% Trump, 33.3% Biden. Now, this is obviously significantly wider than what polling shows, right? But remember, we're not comparing apples to apples here. The polling is about support in each of the states or in the country for Biden and Trump. The betting market is, what do you think the odds of fill-in-the-blank person winning are? Now, I do think, and by the way, let's just do a little history here. So I'm looking at the betting markets since April. Trump has been a mild favorite over Biden since then, with the April 2023, I should say. Biden has been a mild underdog until about October of last year, and then again in April, right around Donald Trump's conviction, Biden quickly became a slight favorite and then has now dropped back down to a relatively significant underdog. What does it mean? Always the hardest question to answer, right? So I'm kind of intrigued by the betting markets because, again, in theory, they are not governed by partisans, right? They are not governed by people who want some outcome to happen. They are governed by people who think an outcome will happen and are trying to make money off of it. Now, you can say that's unsavory, but it is also may provide us with a more clear reflection of sort of the hard and fast, this is what's going to happen, as opposed to this is what I want to happen or this is what I hope will happen, right? So I do pay some attention to them and have paid some attention to them in the past, not as much as I probably should have. There's mixed research on how predictive these predictive betting markets actually are. Some people suggest they're actually better than polling because, again, as I said, it's more objective, right? It's just about people want to make money, so they're going to bet the person they think is going to win as opposed to the person they want to win. But there's also sort of other, I think, fair criticisms. The biggest one being the betting markets are extremely reactive to news events. So as I mentioned, for months, Donald Trump was the favorite to win the presidency. But then Donald Trump got convicted. And again, I think it has marginal impact, but he got convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden quickly surged to be a slight favorite. Now that movement has calmed and Trump is back again, as I said, back up significantly, 52.5% chance of winning. So yes, I think they are more reactive maybe than even polling is to external events, and probably overreact to external events, at least in the moment. But I do think it's an interesting measure just to keep an eye on as we go forward, because it's just another set of data points. Lots of people gamble on politics in this country. Although there is an effort, I will note, I found this in the New York Times. I didn't know this. There is an effort by the Commodities Future Trading Commission. Didn't know that existed. The CFTC. They have ordered a ban on betting on the financial exchanges known as prediction markets, where it's possible to make wagers on who will win the 2024 presidential election. They proposed this rule in May, hasn't gone into effect yet. So that's kind of an interesting thing too. So we may not have these prediction markets around for that much longer, but while they are around, I think I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to them. So let's add this stuff up. So polling suggests Donald Trump is ahead marginally nationally, a couple points, and is ahead in 3 swing states, Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, and is roughly tied with Joe Biden in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That's polling. Now, forecasting, right? So people who build models that factor in lots of different things, including polling. 538, I just checked this morning, has Trump winning 51 times out of 100 and Biden winning 49 times out of 100. So basically tied. The Economist, which does another predicting model, has Trump winning the Electoral College vote 2 out of 3 times and Biden winning it 1 out of 3 times. So a clear lean there toward Trump. And as I said, that third data component, the betting markets, 52.5% chance that Trump wins, 33.3% chance that Biden wins, and of course the long shot dark horse, 0.4% that Ron DeSantis is the next president. So add it all up, right? I don't like to take any one thing and say, okay, well, this means this is going to happen. But if you add it all up, what's clear is that the sentiment in the country right now suggests Donald Trump is somewhere between a slight and slightly more than a slight favorite to win the election. Now, it's, as I said, June 19th, not November 5th. But I do think the betting market is reflective of the broader sentiment in the country. People feel like Trump is going to win, whether they whether they want him to or not. They at least currently believe he is the favorite. And I think it's worthwhile noting that. So I'm going to keep an eye on the betting markets. You should too. Speaking of things you should do, you should subscribe to this channel. You should like this video. You should comment on this video for the algorithm. Do it for the algorithm. And you should tell 5 friends about this video and my broader videos. All right, everybody take care. I'll see you tomorrow.